Welcome teachers and parents to this evening's special assembly. My name is Marnie Hudson and I've been nominated as the new health promoting chairperson, and I've been asked here by the principal to discuss an important issue surrounding our school of late and the changes we can make as a whole school community to benefit the well-being of the students here at Eleanor Estate School. That issue is anxiety. Ever wonder what is going through our students' heads? Perhaps they're wondering the same thing about us, or even themselves. The following clip is a clip about Pixar's latest film, Inside Out. Inside Out explores the different emotions primary age students endure from day to day.
Sometimes I feel angry. Sometimes I feel sad. Other times I feel full of joy. The mysterious world of emotion is complicated and difficult to navigate. But why do we have different emotions? The new Pixar film, Inside Out, portrays each of the emotions as different characters. But do the emotions really differ physiologically? I want to know what's happening inside my head. So many of my favourite films are made by Pixar, and looking through the doors I can already see some of the characters from like Monsters Inc. and Toy Story. Oh, it's going to be great. So let's go inside now.
The movie kind of started watching my daughter. She was 11 when we started, and she had gone from being a very active, spunky, full of energy kid to much more reclusive and kind of quiet and shy a little bit. And I thought, man, what's going on in her head? What happened?
Oh, he doesn't love us anymore. That's sad.
I mean, I'd heard of some emotions, like fear and anger specifically. A lot of them I had no idea. That came later with the research. This was all new to us, and we thought, man, that's almost like a log line for a character.
First day of school, very, very exciting. I was up late last night figuring out a new plan.
It just immediately felt like this is an opportunity to do what animation does best.
So did science influence the film in a lot of ways then?
One thing that kind of blew me away was that there's a whole system that goes on. It's the emotional system that causes us to act and react without thinking. And that's almost entirely invisible to you.
Come on, guys. It's broccoli! Yucky!
So how do emotions play into the mind? Do we have them sitting at this control desk?
These emotions not only are controlled by certain parts of the brain, the control panel, if you will, but they're also these structures in the brain that make us feel the way we do.
All right, make a show of force. I don't want to have to put the foot down.
No.
I'm here with Professor Daka Keltner, Director of Berkeley's Social Interaction Lab and consultant on the film.
But what are emotions? No one seems to agree on an answer.
They are brief, transient states that have some physiology and some expressive behavior, and then they color how you see the world.
I'm done.
Congratulations, San Francisco! You've ruined pizza!
Just with subtle movements in the face, facial muscles, positions of your head, you look down, and also tone of voice. Am I saying, oh, or those very ancient communicative behaviors differentiate the emotions.
Hello.
Are they controlling us, or do we control our emotions?
I hate to be a scientist and say both, but in that 5-second burst of an emotion, they really control us. Try to talk an angry romantic partner, you'll fail.
Fire! That's it. Go to your room.
What we also know is as the emotion starts to unfold, we can start to change it through language, through storytelling, through listening to music, through reflection and meditation.
Look at that. Very nice.
According to a report filed by Swayer in 2000 on the health.gov.au website, 14% of Australian children aged between 4 to 17 years of age have a mental illness, with 1 in 4 of those not seeking professional help. It is also suggested by health.gov.au that this data's prevalence has stayed around this percentage up until 2014, proving that little is being done to improve the mental health of young Australians. In particular, it is noted that anxiety is one of the most common mental issues within primary schools in Australia. According to Kids Matter, common anxiety disorders in primary age school children are separation anxiety, phobia, generalized anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and school refusal. So why am I addressing anxiety? Throughout my years as a teacher at Eleanor Estate School, and most recently, I've noticed that the amount of students suffering from anxiety is on the rise. In particular, these emotions are heightened around assessment time, and of course, NAPLAN. Eric Sidorti, director of the Whitlam Institute, explains that although NAPLAN testing is designed to improve the quality of education children and young people receive in Australia, its implementation, uses and misuses mean that it undermines quality education, and it does harm that is not in the best interest of Australian children. He explains, we need to ensure that the development of literacy and numeracy in our schools is assessed and reported upon in a way that enhances rather than widespread anxiety and stress among students. Another study was undertaken for the Whitlam Institute by Professor Johanna Wynne and her colleagues at the Youth Research Centre at the Melbourne Graduate School of Education. The researchers said NAPLAN had taken on a life of its own despite claims that it was no more than a simple diagnostic tool. It has spawned a small industry in coaching and in the production of and sale of NAPLAN guides, sample tests, and resources. Another study conducted by Greg Thompson from Murdoch University saw 44% of respondents nominated stress, pressure, or anxiety as a negative impact of the NAPLAN tests. This stress was seen to impact a range of school community members, with teachers perceiving increased stress for students, teachers, principals, as well as parents as a result of NAPLAN. In particular, teachers saw that stress and anxiety resulted as an unintended consequence of the results being used to measure the ability of the student and/or the quality of the teacher and the worth of education experience a school offered. The following information was taken from the Queensland Curriculum and Assessment Authority and indicates our school's results in the 2015 NAPLAN testing, highlighted in green. Might I add, what a fantastic job our students and teachers did this year, with 95% and above of our students reaching the national minimum standard across all fields. However, what this data fails to indicate is the social and emotional impact that these tests place not only on the students but teachers and parents in the lead up, aftermath, and of course on the day of testing. This was noted as an alarming number of students and parents throughout the NAPLAN testing period expressing concern for not only their or their children's future potential for high school academic scholarships, but even some stressing over their future university possibilities. This I found, as well as many of my colleagues, to be quite disturbing for students as young as 9 to be mentally unhealthy regarding where they will be in 8 to 9 years down the track. It had us deeply question what are we doing as a school to prevent this. While our school regards the NAPLAN testing highly, and will continue to do so, it is with my recommendations as your new health promoting officer that we as a school community make a positive change to the emphasis we place on NAPLAN testing. The Health Promoting Schools framework has been a helpful tool in guiding me to develop a whole school approach in the prevention and eradication of anxiety within the school and classroom. This whole schools approach is made up of 3 components to recognise. These include curriculum, teaching and learning, school organisation, ethos and environment, and partnerships and services. The health promoting framework of a whole schools approach also aligns nicely with the 5 health promotion action areas of the Ottawa Charter. It is important to recognise the Ottawa Charter as it is an agreement pledged forward by the World Health Organization in which our country has agreed to. Let's take a closer look at what can be done to using the whole schools approach. Curriculum, teaching and learning will be about what will be done in the classroom and what is taught and learned. The focus of curriculum, teaching and learning will be on students' social and emotional learning. Education Queensland believe quality classroom teaching has a profound influence on student learning and well-being. The school's pedagogy is to provide learning experiences that facilitate not only students' physical cognitive needs, but their social and emotional development in order to engage them positively in life and in learning. Circle Up is a social and emotional teaching strategy in which I've adopted from a teacher in a video called Caring and Control. Create a safe and positive classroom, found on theteachingchannel.com. Circle Up allows me to conduct a morning checkup on all my students' emotional levels. It is a rating-based system in which students are to rate themselves based on their moods. This is a rating system of 1 to 5, 1 standing for feeling excellent, and 5, feeling angry or anxious. This strategy will be employed throughout all classrooms straight after morning roll call, where students raise their hands holding the number of fingers up of how they rate themselves. Then I will be able to ask the students who rated themselves between 4 and a 5 and why they're feeling this way, and share this with the class. Some of the reasons students may feel this way might be, for example, didn't get much sleep, or maybe had a disagreement with siblings or parents. This strategy provides students with the opportunity to air out their issues first thing in the morning, allowing them to concentrate on their day's activities. Circle Up also helps the teachers to regulate students' behaviours throughout the day. For example, if a student has rated themselves a 4 or a 5 in the morning, I know the cause of this and to what extent this may be affecting them in the classroom. By sharing this information with the whole class, I hope to build a family-like trust within the classroom. This information that students provide also supplies the remainder of the class that a particular student is not feeling the best, essentially avoiding any unwanted confrontation as students become more and more aware of each other. This information will also be provided on the class roll as an alert for continuous emotional levels, allowing the school to monitor further if needed. The school will also implement the You Can Do It program into its school curriculum. You Can Do It education's main purpose is to support communities, schools, and homes in a collective effort to optimize the social, emotional, academic outcomes of all young people. Its unique contribution is in identifying the social and emotional capabilities that all young people need to acquire in order to be successful in school, experience well-being, and have positive relationships, including making contributions to others and the community. The You Can Do It program develops 12 habits of the mind, including accepting myself, taking risks, being independent, I can do it, giving effort, working tough, setting goals, planning my time, being tolerant of others, thinking first, playing by the rules, and social responsibility. It is also recommended that general principles for assisting children with anxiety disorders, in addition to the You Can Do It program, are developed. These may be steps for learning how to cope with anxiety about speaking in front of others, increase children's helpful coping skills. This may mean anxious feelings are fed by anxious thinking. It is important not to dismiss children's anxious feelings, but to help children see the situations they are worried about may not be as bad as they think. It is good to teach by example, by showing children how you cope positively with feeling anxious or stressed, and remaining calm and positive when they are feeling anxious can help them to feel more confident. Also, to avoid taking over. Children with anxiety are usually very happy for someone else to do things for them. However, if adults take over, it stops children from learning how to cope themselves. And encourage children to have a go. Having a go helps to show children that they can cope. Praise or reward them for every step they manage to take. Applying these effective programs within the school curriculum will certify students' health literacy is obtained, ensuring the goals of the Australian curriculum area of health and physical education is achieved. School organisation, ethos and environment is about the general feeling of within the school. Eleanor Estate School will focus on a positive and healthy learning environment where all students' achievements inside and out of school will be recognised on school assemblies, regardless of what fields these achievements were made, sport, academia or music. It will also be important to not only recognise the students' high achievers, but those who are continually doing their best. These students will be recognised weekly on school assemblies with the School Role Model Award. Also aim to showcase someone of the local community who has achieved a lot not only in the areas of academia. This will hopefully display to students that you can be successful in many things if you put your mind to it. These people from the community have already been approached and are keen to participate, including Dean Hyland, owner of the successful coffee shop Barefoot, as well as parent at the school. Kayleen Langford, who has built successful NGOs from the ground up, including Startup Creative Coaching, and Swell 2014 Sculpture Kids' Choice Award recipient Filthy Lurker. This poster has also been developed by my team of student wellbeing officers and will be placed around the school, especially in the upper primary area. Myself and other staff members have also investigated what physical environmental changes we can make to the school to support student anxieties. RUOK.org have provided the resources to develop a conversation corner, which has already been adopted, and plans are underway in building this corner. The Conversation Corner wants more young people in schools to have meaningful conversations with each other by asking the question, "Are you okay?" and listening without judgment. We want to foster and support a culture of connectedness, resilience, and empathy. The idea of the corner will be to create a safe place for students to go to and have a conversation when feeling down and lonely. The whole school needs to be involved. This means not only staff and students, but parents as well. We are currently in the process of selecting students to be conversation starters. Their responsibility will be to be available at lunchtimes, before and after school, to chat to any students they notice in the conversation corner. It will be encouraged that all staff and parents to also stop by and chat if they notice a students in the conversation corner. This will promote the importance of conversations and preventing mental health issues, including anxiety. Also, hopefully instilling confidence to talk about their feelings in those students with anxiety. Once the Are You OK inspired Conversation Corner has been up and running, we are looking to assess the suitability and possibly adding more components. For example, Kids Matter showcased the story of Pomona State School and their commitment in developing a school environment attuned to the anxiety and other mental health issues within the school. They developed a sensory garden. They believe it is an excellent way to teach about social and emotional learning through the themed spaces and items. Some of these themed spaces are the Let Go logs, which help students to let go of emotions that may stop them from moving forward. The uneven climbing logs give the idea that life has ups and downs. The crossover bridge shows students that they can make different choices. The Sit and Think seat is a place to reflect and share ideas, which in our school will hopefully be our conversation corner. There will also be the Whispering Wishing Well, which is a focus for students to set goals and engage in positive thinking. Incorporating this with the conversation corner, we plan to continue to operate the garden at lunchtimes and before and after school. Students volunteer to water, plant, mulch under the supervision of one of the staff members, maybe our fantastic groundsman Mr. Smith, who is committed to developing the school's gardens. Our garden may also provide an opportunity for some students who are less able to settle in class and who may experience difficulties in interactions. Along with You Can Do It education, Kids Matter, and Are You OK already being used throughout the school, partnerships with other fantastic organisations are just as important and essential to promote for those students who are seeking further help for anxiety beyond the school's capabilities. It is important that the parents and guardians are aware that we are there for continuous support. We also hold strong connections with the surrounding communities, including parents and guardians, as well as the local Currumbin RSL. Currumbin RSL takes its role as a key community organisation and social enterprise very seriously, and always aims to be an active, integral part of the local community by providing monetary support. Therefore, we shall pitch and seek monetary support in the creation of the RUOK Conversation Corner and the potential sensory garden. That brings us to the end of my presentation. Thank you all for joining me here today, and I hope that you have got something out of it, and you're as excited as me in building a future full of mental well-being for our students here at Eleanor Estate School.